marathon. We're now playing Badlands, and this was the free game of the year, well, free game of the month for, I think, August, if I'm right. It weren't September, so it must have been August. But anyway, we'll be moving on. We'll be playing this for the next hour, and we'll be playing it, and it will be between me, my sister, and my friend Carl. And so and then we'll see how the game goes, and then we'll be moving on to our third game, which will be Black Ops, which will be starting at, I think, 11 o'clock. We'll be starting at 11 o'clock. So we'll see how it carries on. See, what I think is difficult about this game is the way you have to restart. The problem is the restart points aren't really close together, you could say, so it can become quite annoying. And I know when I first played this game, I did get sick of it within about 15 minutes or so, because it's fun at first, but it's a very tedious game. And as a result of that, it becomes a really boring game very quickly. But I do think it has its own good parts, which is obviously a good idea. But I don't really get the way the story, well, not the storyline, the way the levels work out. So it's just, I think it's interesting to see. I suppose we'll see how it goes over the next hour. What I do like about this game is how it's kind of the modern take on a 2D based game. It's a very interesting game because when I look at this game, it kind of reminds me of the original Mario, and how when obviously the first time Mario came back out, you had to kind of like move on. You'd have to move along with it, and it does become quite an interesting game when you look at it like that. But I don't think you can say it's not popular. But it's a more interesting game based on the way they've made it. It's got a specific storyline. It's kind of just there, and the more you play of it, the better it becomes. So with this game, I wouldn't, out of a 10, I'd say I'd give this game, you're looking at probably on effort of gameplay, I'd probably only say about 4, because let's face it, it's not the best game when it comes to terms of story. Coming towards the way the game's actually set out, I do like the way it's shadow based. It's a very shadow based game, so it becomes, to me, I actually quite like the way they've drawn the actual animation. But one thing I don't like about it is the way it moves. The movement of the game is actually quite bad. So, but I don't necessarily think it's a bad game, I just think the way they've set it out is bad. I find it so funny the way they just explode. My sister literally is crying as a result. It's just every time go past the explosive part, it just seems that when it hits, my sister just can't stop laughing. It really makes you wonder how they thought to set out this game. Like, what made them decide that this would be a good way to design a game. But I do think it has its good parts and its bad parts. And I think that's one thing people need to realise about this game. It's not all bad. I do like how the levels become a little bit harder that much every time. It makes it a good. I'm quite surprised. Did you know how many different platforms this game is actually out on? It's out on Microsoft Windows, OS X, Linux, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Wii U, PlayStation Vita, iOS, Android, Windows Phone 8, and BlackBerry 10. Release date for each console it was the 4th of April for iOS in 2013, 4th of April on Android, the 29th of November 2013 on Windows, 3rd of June 2014 on BlackBerry, the 18th of February 2015 PS3, PS4 and PS Vita, 26th of May 2015 US, and in the EU it was the 28th. On Windows and the OS X and the Linux, it was the 28th of May 2015. Xbox One, it didn't come out until 29th of May. Wii U was the 30th of July. Badlands was developed by Frogmind Games and released on the iOS and Android platforms. It was released on Windows Phone 8 in June 2014. There is also a Game of the Year edition that was released in May 2015 for PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation Vita. Other consoles such as Xbox One and Wii U and Steam for Linux, Microsoft Windows and OS. In December 2015, its sequel named Badland 2 was released on iOS. The player files around a little black creature named Cloney through the woods of the game. Beginning in day 1, the game progresses through 4 stages which consist of dawn, noon, dusk and night. Each will a separate colour scheme and new theme of traps. as the player goes through day 1, egg-shaped machines begin to come out of the water of the background. Heading into night, the machine begins to turn on, and the water and the game becomes harder as the machines become part of the dangers of the forest. Eventually, the character succeeds in disabling the machines, and the machine becomes dominant once again. Until day 2 begins, it's all over. Most of the day 2 is similar in plot structure, but smaller octopus-like machines begin to make themselves known, and the animals in the forest begin to disappear. I find this game, I like how they've given it a storyline, but it's a very low-key. I actually didn't know there was actually a storyline to this game, if I'm honest. No clue there was a storyline. So I think they do need to kind of like up the way they make the storyline, like make it more known. It doesn't take it just needs to be shown more. So I do think though it's a good game. It's unsafe. I think this game is very different in the way of terms of the way it's made. Like the storyline isn't actually based on the character, so it's more based on the background. And apparently, the background changes depending on where the actual game is based. Because with the storyline, it's based on there is an actual egg type machine that actually is killing the forest, and your character's got to go through and try and stop the machine before it ends up destroying the forest. And if it destroys the forest, then you end up dying, I'm guessing. Because this game it was the Game of the Year edition for PlayStation 4. It was the free game of the month, and I think it's actually quite an interesting game. think for a little game like this, I think it's done quite well for itself. As in the way such a small game, you're only starting out on the phone. I think it's ended up I do think though it's a bit buggy. I would agree. Would you agree with what I say? The way it moves. Because if you get fast, that's what I mean. Look, it's buggy. The way it's not guaranteed anything. Like everything will move along, so it can become quite an annoying part of the game. But for a little game, you can tend to, for a little phone game, it does pretty well. So. Up next after this game, in the next half hour, we are moving on to Black Ops 3. And after that, we, I think, have got Destiny, I think. So, yeah, after Black Ops, we've got Destiny. On Black Ops, we'll be playing multiplayer, and Destiny will be trying to be part of the storyline. So, I will see how it goes. The game is going to be ending in 20 minutes, and after this we'll be moving on to our new live stream of Black Ops 3. We'll be playing multiplayer. I do think the game's becoming ridiculous. But it isn't a bad game, let's just face it, so it's actually turned out to be quite a good game, and I think that's what the problem is with this game. Not a lot of people give it a chance.
In my honest opinion, I think Badland's kind of tedious and kind of boring because it just sort of repeats itself over and over. And I just think where it keeps on going on and on and on, it's not really meaningful, it's just a game. It's literally, and as well, yes, when you have to restart, it's just the same thing over and over again. It can cause quite a lot of game rage. See, the quality of the game's really good. It runs at 720p, but the thing is, the actual... As you can see, we're constantly repeating the same part of the game because of how hard it is. It's kind of an issue. It's really annoying. I think games like this should just stick to the iOS and iPhone because of how hard they actually are on the console, especially with a controller. Like that. It'd be easy with a touchscreen and the motion pad where you can sort of move it and roll it. As you can see, after so many attempts, we finally passed the level. Okay, in about roughly 10 minutes, we'll be ending this live stream and moving on to Black Ops 3. So hopefully we'll see you there.
Our live stream will be ending in about 4 minutes. So and that will be the end of our live stream. We are going to be back on in about 15 minutes. So please feel free to come join back then, and we will see you soon.